big hero for him that's been known for a while. They're going to take the Leshrac.
Okay, so it comes out eventually. This is what we thought might have been a first pick overall for them, honestly, and I wouldn't be surprised because they did rely on it very heavily during that the Chinese groups qualifiers, and then we'll get the Wraith King after the Chen.
Okay. So yeah, this is looking very different from last game. They don't really have a ton of great options for the egg yet. I guess Gyrocopter in a way with Overcharge is going to be decent, and Leshrac has some okay right-click range at the very least. But they're going to need to find another way to deal with that. And more importantly, I don't think that Leshrac necessarily solves your Chen problem in the laning stage.
No, the Leshrac, benefits of the Leshrac here, assuming it might end up being a core here, I feel like, and they're going to try and use it as this like run-around kind of hero, where he just like pushes lanes like crazy, does a lot of magic damage, very irritating to deal with if he gets out of hand and gets like a Bloodstone or something.
Yeah.
Kind of feels like that's the way this one's going. I feel like they played it core a lot more than they played it support. But then they need like this setup stun. They used the Sand King during the qualifiers, but that's a hero that's been just out of here. We lost that hero. He is so far gone. Maybe a Shadow Demon will be a kind of decent hero, but he doesn't really counter a whole lot on the side of EG.
Right.
You know, maybe there's a Necro or something, you'd be feeling a little bit better about that. I'm curious to see what IG want to do here.
I mean, what is it that they're really looking for at this point? Like, I feel like they need more setup for a lot of these abilities. Like, the best thing that they have right now to sort of combo into a stun is Homing Missile.
They either need to pick a support that sets up a Leshrac stun, and then it's going to be a position 3 Leshrac plus support, or they need to pick a position 3 that can also set up for a Leshrac stun, and then we just move this Leshrac to, like, you know, support position 5 kind of a deal, right?
Yeah.
That's sort of where we're at right now. So they have that slight bit of flexibility, and EG choose to ban out the Legion Commander because that's another hero that's very good up against the Phoenix. She can remove that Fire Spirit's debuff and try and go to town on that egg and make sure it can't explode, because currently the egg is the vast majority of their team fight too. And IG, I don't know if this is a Drow pick, but they're going to ban out the Brood at the very least.
Yeah. It does feel to me like if this game gets into the later stages, you have a ton of team fight on the Invictus Gaming side. And as you mentioned, mainly just that egg now for EG. So possibly thinking about sort of dominating the laning stage.
Maybe. Honestly, Naga would be kind of cool. Like a support Naga sort of fits here, like maybe like a bailout situation. But again, I'm just thinking about dead heroes. I need to see what the new answers are. Where has the meta evolved to? What can you show us from your scrims, IG? All right, it'll be a Beastmaster. Okay, so not a lane setup, really, but it is someone who can spam a lot with the Leshrac if they're going to be paired together. Could also be the IO Beastmaster together, which has been a big classic. So lots of options here for IG.
And that sets up for some Leshrac stuns in a weird way, because you have a Gyrocopter throw out a bunch of missiles, and you have that lane support. Pretty easy initiations. And sometimes you have these like weird little moments in the off lane where Chen is off getting himself a creep or something, and maybe you take your moment to strike then. But a last pick Invoker. All right. Okay. Let's see it, Sumail.
So they had all kinds of options that whole draft, right? This Tiny could have been any lane, and it looked okay. This Wraith King, kind of the same thing. So they had a full choice of, like, is this Sumail Tiny? Do we want a different hero for Sumail mid? So what this says to me is that EG believes this is an excellent Invoker game. And
I would say it's definitely true. The scariest thing I would probably point to would be SRF rotation, finding himself a roar. But I feel like that is somewhat mitigated if you have good vision and you at least keep an eye on where SRF is all around the map.
Yeah, be curious to watch a lot of this laning phase here too. Just to see how Sumail does.
Tell me, top 3 keys for this game in no particular order. I mean, we can... we
3 of them.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be 3.
That's very exciting.
I know.
Well, you already pointed out one of them. I think those early rotations from the Beastmaster, maybe to help secure some more levels for Bulbica, because you kind of assume that SRF's going to hit 6 first likely, and then maybe they can get a roar or 2 off, and then that's going to help Bulbica get to 6. And then they can be sort of farming it more aggressively with aggressive. And then if he gets into trouble, they can relocate in. If he's near an enemy hero, they can relocate in, try and set up some plays, try and abuse this time frame where Sumail's not going to be that useful for the side of EG. The thing is, that time's not that long.
Yeah.
Once he's ready, has the Aghanim Scepter, there's a lot of tools for him to fight with.
Okay, fair enough. I noticed you didn't say 3 of them, but that's okay.
Oh, I mean...
I'm going to leave it over for me, though. That's
okay.
what I'll say.
Yeah, that was the handoff. That's
Thank
all that
you.
was. Yeah, no
You're
problem.
on top of it. I guess BKBs are another thing to think about, too. Like Invoker, always so freaking dominant before that item comes out. I'm not actually going to name 3 either, so we're just going to breeze on past that one. Yeah, I always like to see what happens as far as like the setup for kills, and traditionally in the past it was that Beastmaster that would set up for some Sunstrike kills and stuff.
Right.
But maybe it's going to be the Tiny this time around, and maybe, just maybe, we might even see some Quaswex instead.
Yeah, that's true. That's always a possibility. He wants to be a little bit more active early on. It does provide better control for the IO +1. I'm thinking it's going to be XOR, and yeah, okay, looks like he's already tossed out the Sunstrike too, so
Okay.
the Disco Pony begins discoing there, but
Okay.
the tips are there. Okay, all right. You know, last game, they're like, brush it off. Throw out some tips. Give it good luck. You know, everyone's on their right hero here. Arteezy didn't enjoy his time on Phoenix, it looks like. Sadly, he's going to have to head on back to the core heroes.
Oh, he has the taunt too. Look at this guy go.
Oh, it's so good.
Yo, that's set though. Look at that thing.
Yeah, collector's cash, ladies and gentlemen. You know, hit up your battle pass.
Hey.
Don't worry, Gabe, I got you.
Thank you. I appreciate
Not you,
that.
Gaben.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, sorry. Sorry, bud. You're not the important Gabe around here. At TI, you're not Gabe. You're lyrical, all right?
Fair enough. SRF taking a wallop in here underneath and by the tower. They are going to have another Wraithfire Blast. This just might be first blood. As he's going to try and do the little do-si-do, but...
Oh, very nice. That's how you do it, right there. That's how you help your mid player, you know? Whew, hadn't even left the fountain. He was ready for that.
Definitely. Well, the missile is going to be sent out as well as Phoenix under fire. Fly going to throw out the spirits first, but he will die.
It's okay. It wasn't first blood. Got a value 3-man fire spirits. Obviously, a nice comeback there for IG is a kill and then 2 runes, but they're of course losing both runes down bottom.
Okay. So the trade-off comes out. SRF going to try and block from the very get-go, and it is going to be a Fly and S4 lane. Old teammates together, new teammates again underneath a new organization, and we're going to see if they can do some damage against the aggressive Bobica dual lane. So it is not what we were fully expecting, but it's still a very strong lane in its own right, and Axes together with a Split Earth is a heck of a lot of damage.
Yeah, it's just like constantly over and over, pressure on top, and they've also warded the pull camp. You know, you're playing this Chen. Typically, you expect them to ward the camp with the creeps you want to take, right? So if they body block right now with Q, that might throw off Crit enough that he doesn't know where to sentry.
Oh, that'd be a cool move. SRF again taking some damage. They need to be aware of the Sunstrike that could come in as well.
Yeah, and Q's on top of it too. Like, he's going to ensure this doesn't spawn either. It's a really smart play.
Very cool stuff. Yeah, Crit is going to be... I mean, he will see him move over and see that he's body blocking.
Yeah, so that should make him assume that it's a small camp that's blocked. But what can you do against that, right?
Yeah.
Like, if the camp doesn't spawn to begin with, you can't exactly guarantee that 2 minutes. Do they really have enough strength that Arteezy wants to leave the wave to go and stop that, right? And look at that. Crit misses because of the body block. What a play by Q.
That's pretty
Ladies and gentlemen, that is how you support right there. So good.
Really well played by the Leshrac. We need a highlight of that.
Oh man,
it's funny because it's like
nothing gets me more than the ward mind games.
And that's the thing, right? It's like it's the type of play that like is very subtle. It doesn't often get seen, but it's very, very important because now he either needs to ferry out another sentry for himself, or they just don't get to pull in this lane.
Yeah.
And now this lane is way the heck pushed up underneath the tower. IG's having a fine time.
Yeah. Now the one thing is that Q's not going to get there in time, so they will have the camp to play with now for Chen.
Okay. The 2-minute mark comes through. They get themselves a tomato. Crit will gladly take that one as he gets hit by another stun. The axes go out. A stun to save his buddy Crit. So maybe a good bit of damage, but the slow comes out and now SRF in trouble. Right kick's coming and they do manage to find one, but in turn, Q picks up a kill for himself, misses everything, and now the Sunstrike to get it. Sumail taking revenge.
That was a lot of units to miss the splitter. The skeletons dodged that thing. I don't know.
That's crazy.
They got some talent.
Yeah. Well, nonetheless, it's been a rather passive lane up in the top side as an avalanche is going to get thrown out and a good bit of damage traded. Bobica need to be careful. But with an IO here, having a ton of regen, I don't believe S4 would be able to find too much easy pickings.
I haven't even checked into our mid lane, eh? I mean, obviously, one benefit is that he has 2 kills for Sumail, so pretty huge. But he's also just fine in terms of last hits. Lina, not a hero that really ramps up very quickly. You know, she's got some spells and everything, but her attack speed pretty slow at the beginning, not too dominating on the last hits. And then Sumail's got 2 huge denies right in the face of the Lina.
That's not what you want to see. I mean, you should be able to secure most of the range creeps as Lina, with Dragon Slave, obviously, but it does leave open some of those other creeps to potentially be taken down. And looks like Q, again, there is no pulls going on in this lane, but he might go pulling himself, as it does look like he's heading over towards where these creeps would be coming in. That might be the play for him. And yeah, it looks like he's going to go and meet them and then maybe take them behind the tower.
I didn't even notice the other sentry missed from Crit. He brought another one and he missed the other ward.
Oh, top lane, also S4. He manages to find a kill before he goes down. Wow. But it will be a kill onto S4 nonetheless. So yeah, second sentry there.
Yeah.
Very unfortunate.
Very sneaky wards. But overall, despite the mishaps of the sentries and the sneaky observer wards here, still going just fine for EG, even in that bottom lane, 19 and 10 compared to the 11 and 1 for the Beastmaster. Arteezy just holding the wave. They now have a Tomato and the Wild Wing Ripper. And Crit's going to go scout around here. No rune, as it was taken by Q.
Yeah, I feel like the Tomato's pretty good, the Hellbear Smasher, for securing like a lane, but it's not the best to try and head off somewhere and like gank necessarily, because you know it's got the swiftness for it, but it's not the fastest guy in the world. It does look like they're going to rotate mid.
There was a ping from Crit there. So.
Okay.
Nice communication there, just to ensure that he's aware of the Leshrac's there. Likewise, though, Fly is spotted putting down this ward, and that Observer Ward's just expiring, too. So not only do they know that Fly's playing there, but they're going to see that he placed an Observer Ward if they're paying attention.
Yeah, 10 seconds left on that one. And it looks like the Bounty Rune trade is going to come out, and IG looking to get 3 for themselves. While, oh, we actually do get the kill into XXS mid. They managed to make the rotation with Crit and get the kill.
Cold Snap, very irritating. Has absolutely massive range, so still enough for follow-ups to happen there.
And EG, top CS for all 3 of their cores, just about 5.5 minutes in. In spite of the Bounty Runes mostly going the way of IG. Oh wait, Arteezy was able to get one as well. It's still EG with the lead. Toss back there, S4, able to live because of it. But just level 4 right now. A little bit behind the Gyrocopter, ever so slightly.
So Tiny, looks like his levels should be fine though. So that just means that kill opportunities on the IO still very real for Bobica. You know, only the 1 death so far, so they haven't really been able to find those moments just yet. And he's pretty much just going to follow aggressive everywhere, so there's that slight benefit, but Tiny doesn't really care too much if there's someone next to you or anything. There's no diminishing on his like Avatos or something like that. Pretty easy to hit the correct target these days, so if he's not very careful, he will just go down. Has to rely on the movement speed of aggressive, so once the phase boots are actually up on the Gyrocopter, that's when he'll feel a lot safer.
Yeah.
So he can leech some move speed.
Crit takes himself the second catapult now, so as a Satyr and a catapult, this will be slowly regenning. As top lane again, they move into position, gonna spam out this wave, and then head off afterwards, although they get an avalanche off. Bobica in a little bit of trouble, will not be able to get a tether away and goes down instead, but with Tiny getting sun rate up, he might be able to live through this. Q shows up as well to hit onto 2. The stick charges are there, but S4 in trouble. No TP Sunstrike, a little bit off the mark there as a miscommunication came out, but S4 trying to play his way out of there. Did manage to buy a TP, and he might actually be able to escape from this one as they're still chasing. He will have another toss in a second if they happen to get eyes on him. The toss away, possibly get out of here, but now with the missile on him, he is indeed going to go down as EG lose a couple. But they get something in return, bottom lane. It's
so risky to go for the TP out. That's the only real problem, right?
Yeah.
Because if you go for the TP out and they cancel it, that's just like, and you know you're going to die after that, and then you can't get right back in the lane. So I kind of like the fact that he went for the safer play overall, hoping for the big jukes.
Well, and to be honest, it led to them being able to secure themselves the tier 1 tower and a lot of damage onto the tier 2. The Sunstrike, it hits. They don't quite get into range for the damage amplification to come out, but with all these catapults just wailing into the tier 2 tower, it's not 300 HP.
Yeah, and the fact that the Wraith King stun is just, 2 seconds right at level 1, you don't have to commit all too much into it. So Arteezy only 2 points into it, allows him for 3 points into the skeletons, and gives easy plays for Sumail from the mid lane, who's had a great game so far, hasn't had to rotate at all. He's top of the net worth. Oh, actually, he's just eclipsed right now. He's jostling for position there right now versus aggressive, but he's at least at the top of the board.
Yeah. And Bobica has had to stick by aggressive a lot, so there aren't a ton of stacks that have been made in the jungle. But at the very least, he's going to continue to accelerate his farm whenever possible, given mana and HP. The problem is that now you have the rotations coming out from EG.
They don't have Sunstrike ready, though.
They do have only one skeleton. XXS shows himself. He's just walking into the tower, because why not?
Yeah. XSS is sitting there and he sees the cold snap get invoked and he's like, nah, no thanks. I think I'll leave.
Very good plan there. And the rotation comes in as well from the Beastmaster. Does have roar.
Big rotation to not get anything. And they saw that ward get placed, but they obviously did not have the, you know, they weren't watching the support, didn't notice that it was placed down there.
Fortunate. I mean, I guess EG did bring a lot also. Arteezy shows up there, and you know, he is not necessarily wanting to leave the lane a ton either. That entire time, Gyrocopter was able to farm. About a 1,000 gold lead right now for EG. But how do you sort of leverage this Gyrocopter? Like, what are IG going to be looking to do with this hero now that he's gotten off to a pretty good start?
He just wants to farm. He just wants to be off the map, basically. What they've done down bottom right now is you see they put a sentry in between the two cliffs, and they had the courier here, and they were just dewarding them both. They brought out a smoke, but then they didn't feel comfortable going for it. So they just kind of, they were like fully prepped for the smoke, and their Lina was there, and they just stopped instantly. So that basically says to me, they don't have a lot of confidence in their plays right now. Like, this Wraith King, they know he's probably holding his point, or at least he has the ultimate, which he has. So Arteezy, you'd have to kill him twice. They weren't sure where Sumail was. He backed away from the mid lane. And S4, he's got raindrops. He's a pretty tanky guy. He's sticking the nearest tower. There's not a whole lot for these roars to do right now. SRF has just been walking in a circle here for like a minute and a half.
Yeah. This really hurts. And I mean, granted, you get the bounty runes, but it ends up paying for it later. Although they do take down the Phoenix, and now going to be able to find S4 as well. They get the cold snap out, but it doesn't amount to anything. So even if they're not finding these kills that you would want out of the Beastmaster, they're at least still having a decent time for aggressive.
Yeah, SRF is just on like lane duty down bottom. He's basically playing like Tidehunter Underlord sort of a style where you're just holding the wave and trying to stop this tower from going down as it is very low.
Yeah.
But it does definitely limit their aggression, so it's very good for them that Aggressive's able to pick up those couple kills when the gank squad was coming for him.
Yeah. Arteezy still just sitting with his Ring of Silius. Kind of the thing that we've been seeing more and more often on these strength heroes.
It's these Wraith Kings especially. They always just buy Bastion and hold on to it because it lets them just spam their skeletons. He gets roared up, but he has the ulti.
All right, down bottom. They rotate in as well, so going to look for the second kill here, as meanwhile the rest of the team has abandoned Arteezy and decided we are going to go mid, take the tower. You bring everybody, but we get this one.
Okay, secure it with the egg too. Oh, nice kill though. IG, they're flexing their muscles, they're using some of these skills, and going to keep that catapult wave down bottom. And it doesn't look like there's going to be a response here from the Radiant, especially with that egg being used. Just continuing to buy time here for Sumail.
And one of the things we had to talk about is sort of the team fight potential that you've got on the Dire team. We're kind of seeing it there, that if you're EG, it's hard to run into everybody, at least until Invoker really starts to get a lot of these skills up. And he is kind of that sort of scary force that's eventually going to come online, going for that Aghanim Scepter next. How good of an Invoker game do you really feel like it is?
Seems pretty strong right now. I mean, concerns for him would be maybe a relocate gank or something like that. Maybe like a Shadow Blade on the Beastmaster after his Necro. He can't decide. He just queued up the Shadow Blade as I said that actually. So SRF, he's also thinking the same thing where it's like, I'm the guy who has to create this kill and Invoker. I'm the one who has to create opportunities for relocate. So I think that is more important than the Necronomicon. And then the BKB queued up after. So this basically says, I am Beastmaster, the Invoker killer. Right. Shadow Blade, BKB. Puts a lot of pressure onto Sumail.
Yeah, he just needs to get into it, and eventually that will start to come online. I mean, it does sort of, when I think about like Necrobook, it helps to secure those outer 2-2 towers, but even if you manage to do that, the Invoker can still come online if you don't take high ground, and that's not an easy feat in the least bit. Crit. Oh, he gets stunned! Oh!
Nice. Very nice.
I don't know if it would have mattered anyways, as...
I think I saw him. I think the LSA was coming.
Okay. Meanwhile, top lane, S4. Let's turn around a little bit here with the heals coming in, and they're going to dive forward for that a little bit further. EG wanting to keep the pressure on and see if they can take down the tier 1 tower top lane.
Relatively quiet game for S4 so far. He hasn't had the most space going on. 60 last hits at 13 minutes. Nothing too crazy. Kind of the same thing for Arteezy. But surviving up here, helping to pressure down tower, and he will have that Blink Dagger soon, and that's when the plays will start. And this is a great game to be a Blink Tiny. Look at these heroes. These are heroes that you just want to explode. Like this poor Leshrac, so much trouble. This thing that doesn't even have 1,000 HP right now.
Yeah, that is a very squishy hero. Brown boots, and his only tank item right now is a wand, basically. If the blink is there, he will just explode. And then on top of that, I mean, the downside, I guess, if you're on EGs, he might die too quickly for Sumail to get off a Sunstrike. But nonetheless, bottom lane push with the Meteor. IG going to keep the pressure on, but so too will EG with the skeletons in the top lane.
If this Leshrac is seen, he just dies. Like, Ray Fire Blast Sunstrike will kill him.
Scary stuff. Arteezy pops the Blade Mail. It's doing a lot of damage to the Sunstrike. He's gone. Sumail manages to find the kill. They do have the ulti back up in 10 seconds. If they can manage to wait that long, the Roar's there as well. They kill them for the ulti. They take down the egg too. IG turn it around.
Okay, so Wraithfire Blast Sunstrike is cool, and it does kill Leshrac, but the question, what about the rest of the fight? And the rest of the fight was not prepared. Sumail's not even there, you know, he can't really fight that much because of Aghanims. Now he's running in with his Chen. I mean, you're hoping for a little bit of cleanup as they're all low, but the relocate just still a bit too strong right now, and EG maybe not fully respecting it. It did save the bottom tower because they abandoned that push,
right.
But IG's moves all looking very good right now. It hasn't secured them any sort of a massive lead quite yet, though, but it is building them time in towards that Aghanim Scepter being provided from Bobica.
Yeah. And, you know, again, that is one of the big game changers. You get towards this ability and aggressive turns into another hero. It's basically a double damage. And particularly once you have your BKB online, you don't have to worry as much about the stuff that's coming out. And meanwhile, relocate down here towards the bottom. They found themselves one. Is going to be Sumail going down. A 1,000 gold lead now for IG as their team fight begins to come online. Back here at home, though, they bring back aggressive. The Blade Mail out as well. S4 looking for the finish. They end up buying back on IO to make sure that that gyrocopter doesn't go down. Just showing how committed they are to this Gyro's game.
It's been a very brawly game for like kind of a team that both teams kind of want to wait a little bit. You know, we got the Invoker, we got the Gyrocopter, and it's not really the heroes that I'm expecting to make all these plays. I'm thinking about S4 being the big assassin hero running across the map, right? But he hasn't really gotten all too much. Still just 1, 4, and 2, and continuing to move into that secondary mobility item in the Shadow Blade. Whole game just sort of not very objective focused, just a lot of kills over and over.
Well, EG was coming into this game looking to continue their perfect record so far in the group stages, but IG showing some signs of not just life, but dare I say dominance, at least a little bit early on, and looking very, very good. There is going to be a runaway again, aggressive and Bobica heading back, and we do have kind of just very spread out and good farming from IG.
Man. Another great ward here too. Look where this ward is in the river by the Roche pit. That just spotted everything that Fly did. He put a sentry ward down trying to find a ward, doesn't see anything. So then he puts another observer ward up in the ancient camp, but they knew because they're just watching him from the river that whole time. It's a lot of evolution warding around the Roche pit. You also see the one kind of to the north of the pit these days too that scouts everyone trying to contest an actual Roche fight.
Yeah. Very nifty stuff. And it's the type of ward, too, that is just not going to be dewarded. Nobody thinks, all right, they placed it in the river.
Yeah.
At least in this bracket. Maybe in other brackets they think about that as well. But 17 minutes in, a 1,000 gold lead for Invictus Gaming. And it does feel like they're the type of heroes that are going to be able to keep these team fights into their favor. Do you need to think about Roshan if you're either team in particular?
EG 100%. They have the Solar Crest on the Chen. Roche is their next big goal. That's why they're warding around that area in the first place, and they also have the better tools for a fight there. You do not want to like relocate into a fight here, really, the side of IG, especially with Sumail having the Aghanim Scepter, right? Like, that's the whole point of this.
Oh, they see everybody. They're moving in here. They want to try and find this, and Bobica, aggressive. They're not able to get in range. Oh, that would have been a huge moment if they would have had any type of the mobility there. But S4 was not with them during that portion of the smoke.
Yeah, and they have this Hawk flying around the pit too, so they can confirm they're not in there.
Oh, everybody from IG instead, they're going forward. They get the roar onto one. If they can bring him down, there's going to be no leg. And now these heroes are isolated away from the rest of them. Arteezy jumped upon the blade mails out. They do take down the left track with the BKB reveal. Aggressive, running forward. He has one target on his mind. He wants to kill off Sumail. The light strike array connects as well. They take down Sumail. IG hitting hard.
Yeah, they have no reason to engage Arteezy. He pops Blade Mail, they just run past him. Why even bother with this hero? He doesn't have a Radiance, doesn't do any damage right now, and they're perfectly targeting down Sumail and the Invoker. And what happened there was that it was the Hawk spotting crit way in the back like that, and they're like, okay, they're definitely split up right now. They're not in Roche, so they're playing aggressive, but they don't have all their heroes, so let's just try and go on the hunt. And so it works very successfully for them.
Yeah, that ward was taken out as well. Either it expired or it...
I believe it expired.
Yeah, right as they were getting ready to go, but making use of it again. Some good wards placed down by EG now. They have one up here on the high ground, as well as the one in the Ancients that has been yet to be dewarded. So Arteezy walks forward, sees some heroes, and...
Oh, it does. All right, they'll catch this one with the Sentry. They go back to the high
ground. A little bit outside of it.
No, there's no. They just dropped the second one. Yeah.
Got it.
Oh, that was a deep grab there. And I pay for it.
Yeah, there's the jump in, the kill. They do relocate in with two, and the BKB out. S4 trying to hide away and shadow him for victory. He's still taking a lot of damage from the Ion Spirits. He's relocating back out in 3 seconds. I don't know if they're going to be able to kill him in time. Oh, the toss away, S4 running. Aggressive is left on an island. What's he doing? The jump away, S4 makes it happen, but with the play mode, it's not quite enough. They're going to kill off Arteezy one time. Can they get him again? Sunstrike going out, and they managed to find him.
Sumail predicts the tree dodge.
Oh my God. What a play.
Man, S4, the juice there, the amulet with no detection. Perfect blink too. Just, you know, another day at the office. 1,159 gold there for Sumail. That'll help you after a couple deaths.
Oh my goodness.
And that's right into the Roche pit. 20 seconds left. If they could force a buyback here on Gyro, that would be very painful. But
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be able to.
Well, again, as you said, he just bought something.
Oh yeah, he got rid of it. So.
All right, XXS. They do still have this ward here, so they spot out the Lina. Arteezy's thinking about going. He does have this Blink Dagger. If anybody walks over this area, he's going after him. But instead, they'll just get themselves the Roche on Sumail, and they've reestablished themselves after it was looking a little bit shaky.
Yeah, and it's going to buy more time for Arteezy too, so that he can, like, now that he has a Blink Dagger, that definitely creates a secondary threat because he has this initiation potential. He's kind of the offlaner in this game, and his net worth sort of shows that off, right? The fact that he is behind even S4 there, is he starts to farm up some Ancients, so that's one way to catch back up.
And you talk about the downside to this lineup of IG, and they are still very squishy. You haven't changed that fact at all. Leshrak's still only sitting at 866 HP, but they need to play around aggressive, and they've been able to do that as he is getting more and more farms going back for the Sanjin Yashe next. Success, hunting. Crit is here. Doesn't have any defensive creeps, but it doesn't look like they're confident going for that kill since they don't know where everybody else is. Jump forward, they find themselves Q, the Sunstrike, it connects, it gets the kill. Now XXS might feel comfortable going for this kill on the crit, but he misses the Light Strike array. Doesn't quite find him, and now they're stuck down here. He's going to Shadow Blade run away.
And there's also this Hawk Vision here too, just helping to keep them safe, and they'll use that to blink very deep there from SRF.
I'll see, S4 does have himself another Blink Dagger, but would be unbelievable prediction skills if he's able to find him. Top tower gets taken down. IG still finding trades across the map while the shenanigans are going down bottom.
The Aegis kind of allows them to hang out around here though as they take down that tower. They can just sort of move together with Sumail. Not a lot of fight. You know, look how Fly's positioning himself too. Just kind of leading this charge. He has the egg ready. He doesn't feel like they have enough burst potential, and he's probably correct. As long as he doesn't get roared, he should be able to get the egg off.
Okay. And if you're roaring him, then you're not roaring one of the other cores.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Sumail might have a chance, especially with his 10-second BKB.
Yeah. Tier 2 tower mid. The second to last one for IG.
Great rotation with the Aghanim, or with the Aegis, eh? Like the way they came down bottom, they got that tower, they're going to rotate into mid, they're going to get this tower, and then they can just kind of do the same thing up top here too. If someone can go back and grab that wave. Now, oh, Arteezy, he goes in, he wants to start a fight.
Yeah, they jump forward. They're able to find him. Fly is in there as well. They're able to find the egg as well as the spirits off onto several. They're also able to get the pushback onto the gyrocopter. If he bounces BKB right now, they can't take the fight afterwards.
No, Lena's gone down. They're chasing for it. Another Sunstrike from Sumail. He is on this game.
All right, this is where things get scary, right? This hero has come online. You have a BKB, but if you pop it too early, he's just going to be able to dominate the whole rest of the fight. It's only 8 seconds now.
He's just getting so many of these kills too. Like he's focusing on this one half of the fight, secure the kill into the Lina, and he's just, you know, oh, way over here, buddy. Throw me one of those Sunstrikes. Top shelf. Easy peasy. All
right, they're running really quickly, but they're also being chased, and they're going to have eyes on these heroes in just a second. Everybody's converging bottom. Mobica trying to get out of there. A BKB and TP out on both.
Okay. Oh, but meanwhile, they did find a solo pick there. And look at them running in circles. Smart play.
He knew.
Be able to split the Sunstrike would have been okay.
24 minutes in, 1,000 gold lead. And is starting to feel like the Sumail show a bit. BKB is in queue for XXS, but he still needs to play around this map very safe. Any potential, you know, have a toss with the Sunstrike, and he's just gone also.
I like how Sumail had the Lincolns queued up, but after that whole fight, didn't have to pop his BKB. He got 2 kills, big team fight, instantly buys a Blink Dagger.
Yeah.
Just knows that with that, he's going to be even more mobile during these engagements. He's already very speedy. And we just play towards next road.
It's weird. It feels like it's almost guerrilla warfare right now from IG, where you're sort of taking the fights that you can and then running away, get a creep wave, everybody TPs out, BKBs.
Look at this ward from EG spotting where they're off to right now too. So if they see them not going straight into the base, they see them curving like this. So now they're going to try and cut them off. And there's about 30 seconds left on the Aegis right now.
Oh man, look at Arteezy. He's there. He's ready. He wants to jump. Are they going to get into position in time to jump forward the blink? They've managed to find the stun onto Io. He is going to die here as the Avatos comes out premeditated. Play from EG.
Great ward. All from that ward behind that top tier too. And again, they're just playing so aggressively because they have this Aegis and lets them just be a little bit more bold in their decision making. The next 3 minutes though, that's where there's going to be a couple more options here for IG as this begins to fade away here. Just about to get the return to Roche.
Yeah. And while this was all happening, top lane was being pushed out as well by the crit creeps. So they're going to have access to the tier 2 tower if they want to go for that one next. Well, they need to be a little bit careful. Sumail is playing so bold with the Alacrity catapult. And when it dies, he backs out. Well, they are just controlling every avenue of the map. This is IG's playground right now, and that's about it.
Yeah, not a whole lot they can do. At least they have some decent vision down the bottom, so once this initial pressure is relieved, maybe it'll allow them to make a smoke if they catch someone going down, but they're going to lose that ward in the jungle, and they're only going to have the one in mid. So if they begin to chase, and they just find Fly.
Now, Dual Scepter lift up. It will be a dead Phoenix, but they don't find the prize they're looking for in Sumail. Nonetheless, as you said, they break the contain, and now most likely going to be seeing this vision dewarded up on the high ground.
Yeah. But overall, very successful first Aegis here for Evil Geniuses. You pretty much got every objective that you can go for. You close them in to the shortest position of the map possible. Just squeeze it right down to a tiny ball inside their base. And at the very least, they do have the Shadow Blade on the Lina, so that lets them get a little bit more aggressive when they want to push out waves, and the same thing with the Io here, but it's not nearly as strong as it used to be.
Oh, top lane, they find the Io again. Sunstrike, he tries to jump away. The Cold Snap, though, as he's running, he's going to be slowed down. Is it going to be enough to get the kill? It doesn't quite look like it. Sumail, sad Tromboning, and no Sunstrike this time.
Yeah, that's pretty disappointing.
He's given up.
Clearly. But, yeah, I mean, considering the hero no longer has that sort of like hide in the trees factor and being able to tether and relocate.
Oh my god, he scanned it. Oh my god, oh!
Yeah.
Alright. You can see the teams, even though they're on the biggest stage in the world for Dota 2, they are still having fun playing this game that we all love.
Turns out video games are pretty fun. Who would have thought, you know? No matter how much you dress it up, they're still pretty damn fun.
Well, it is going to be the Relic on the Courier for Arteezy. And it does also look like 27 minutes in, 3,000 net worth. They're going to head back to their side of the map and be comfortable farming and not pushing too aggressively, at least until the next Roche. That's where they're fighting.
Yep. And at this point, can IG fight the next Roche? Advantages they have the Roar. They have the Beastmaster Vision. That's very important. Other than that, I mean, this BKB for the Lina is going to have to do a lot of work. They don't have too much to deal with it. Basically just the Phoenix Egg, essentially. So all hope comes down to catching Sumail, realistically. That's pretty much the goal. He has no buyback right now. That's a huge deal, because everyone's going to spend their buyback on this fight if they have to.
I guess the other thing to think about is the egg has in the past been a really big problem, as they are going to smoke now. But they do have a lot of attack speed heroes that deal with it well. Arteezy again going to be that meat shield in front of the rest of his team.
And they didn't go in. SRF just has to make that quick decision, right? The smoke pops, it's like, do I blink or do I not blink?
Yeah.
And they chose to not blink. And I actually like that decision too, because they should be using the Hawk, right? They should only be going for it if they have the clear target, and there he is. It is the Invoker. Can he get the Blink Roar in time?
This is the big one. They're able to find him. He gets his BKB off, but all the physical damage in the world is going to burn through Sumail. As you said, no buyback. EG needs to run away.
Great play. Excellent stuff. The fact they didn't go for that initial jump, so good from IG. Can they secure Roche for themselves? Well, they can't, because it's a long respawn, buddy.
Now, that is not what you like to see if you are an IG fan.
It's okay, though, because that still means his buyback's going to be so far away, right? Like, this is a full minute. He just can't farm.
Right. Well, and on top of that, if you find him one more time, Roar will be back up by the time Roche is available, as they do head over this direction. XXS not able to find the pickoff on to any hero. And EG, again, going to try and see if they can get some wards down. There's no vision on this side of the map pretty much at all. There's a ping that comes out on this ward and they'll get the D ward, so every area over here where they would want to get vision down for Roche is gone. This kind of gives a pretty decent advantage to IG because of that Hawk now.
Yeah, I'll see if EG can try and get something similar going, but a little play down bomb there. Invis thrown out here from Tiny, but not going to save him. Gem on Alina.
Well played.
So that's not a very worthy trade, eh? The position 6, essentially less track, although he's still richer than the Phoenix in this game. For a Tiny, you're happy with that.
Yeah.
Your IG, and unfortunately for them, though, still no Roche, as it's still 35 seconds away.
There will be this short timing where Roche will be alive, but Tiny will not. But the other thing, too, is that now you've also got Arteezy with the Radiance. It's no longer the situation where IG can just avoid him. They have to deal with this guy.
Yeah, that's why this item is just so powerful in Wraith King and always has been. It's just this idea of, like, force them to commit onto you, and if they don't deal with you, then you're dealing a lot of damage, and it's only gotten better with the mischance being added to the item.
You know, something to think about as this game goes on longer. Io has gotten very farmed. Bobica level 20 right now because of that XP gain, and has the 150 GPM going towards the heart.
And a lot of the damage is pretty bursty from the side of EG, right? Like, sustained damage essentially comes from your Tiny in this game, and he's not going that sort of a build, right? Like, Tiny, we saw a Butterfly Tiny earlier today, and that's more of that old school kind of a Tiny, but these days it's more about Echo Sabers, Blinks, and then, as you see, the BKB. Another item these days is like Dagon, you know? It's just all that once and done. Heart, the best item in the game versus that sort of style. Well, I guess along with Eon this.
All right, Sumail as well as Fly, they are sitting in the back. They know they're the heroes that would need to get initiated on, and SRF jumps in there. He's in the middle of everybody, roars up one right at the start. It's on the Wraith King, though. They haven't found those big team fighters as of yet. Avatos as well on Alina, takes her down. She does get USF off to stay alive for the moment. A ton of damage when the egg is going to pop in just a second. It's going to stun all of these heroes from IG, but they still manage to kill off EG first. Arteezy's back again, trying to get those right clicks in. Light Striker right comes out, and they are going to be able to find two. The buyback immediately on two separate heroes, and Roshan is beat into Sumail at this point also. S4 is going down. I don't know if they can come and defend against this with Lina gone, though. Oh, they get Roche. Aggressive in. Can they steal it away in time? No, they don't.
Sumail, he didn't want to go in. He had the blink, but he didn't opt for it.
They jump forward further. They catch the cold snap onto aggressive. He does have the Aegis, so he's coming back in just a second. SRF falling down low. He eats the cheese. No Roar, though. Nowhere left to go. Aggressive needs to do absolutely everything in this fight, but with the Deafening Blast, they get the disarm. Q looking for the follow-up, but EG's out of there.
Yeah, it looks like there will not be a chase down here. They will have to retreat back, and Well, what just happened? The economic damage was pretty brutal for both teams. We've evened out the game to an under 1K advantage here for Evil Geniuses, and that fight went on so long we don't even have buybacks. I mean, that's the point we're at. So just to scroll back, I'm going to give you guys the overall picture here. We had the Fly buyback. So that's one for your Phoenix there. We had the buyback from Q on the left track, Bobacup bought back, SRF bought back, and Arteezy bought back. So pretty even, 3 versus 2 in terms of the buybacks here.
I mean, the other thing to keep in mind, though, is the levels that are starting to really ramp up for IG. You look at it based upon the XP talents and other stuff. You're in this situation now where they're starting to get towards those 25s, and those can be game-changing level 25 abilities.
Yeah, and despite being kind of pushed back in their base, they haven't really felt the pressure of that. All these tier 2s didn't give over that much to the side of EG. Partially because the kill threat just isn't strong enough, I guess, right now from S4. He hasn't been that active across the map, right? Like, only 3 kills so far, and the last kill he got was on that left track, but there was that instant response from the relocate. It kind of stops these ideas of assassinations across. So, he can't really play the Tiny the way he wants to.
Yeah. It needs to sort of be that like clean initiation and blowing somebody up with all the force staffs. I think that was a force staff from SRF that saved Alina, which led into her Yules. Because otherwise that projectile would have gotten there in time, I think, in the duration of the stun.
I actually preferred and really liked the way EG set up that fight too, right? Because they knew that IG were coming, so they left just Arteezy in the pit. Because they knew what SRF wants to do is he wants to just like blink in and stun the Invoker, hopefully.
Right.
But Sumail wisely just not in the pit. You know, they know Sumail wants his Aegis if he can get it. However, he's also this prime target, so he just wants to stay in the fog. He has the blink for the high mobility. He can just blink in and steal the Aegis at the end anyway, even if his own team's doing it, right?
Yeah.
So force them to engage onto your Wraith King, force them to deal with Arteezy, and I thought that fight was going to go a lot better for EG.
Right.
IG were still able to fight it out.
I mean, I think that they had 1 or 2 more buybacks than they did in that engagement. But now the question is, okay, you didn't fully feel comfortable going high ground with the Aegis. How do you feel now? Like, are EG willing to try and take the step themselves? Do they need to wait till another Roche? Because it feels like with the GPM talent that you've got on IO, this hero is going to start to become a bigger and bigger issue as this game goes on.
Yeah, I think ideally they need to try and hunt down this IO +1. So if they ever separate out again, if they can blow them up and create a fight where the relocate thing isn't a factor, that's ideal. For now, they're going to be roaming on in here. They don't have any sort of a Hawk active right now. Okay, there it'll be popped.
Yeah, and they find crit right at the start. They also scan on the rest of these heroes. Okay, so they're going to blow them up with that. The rest of them, they scan. Oh, able to blink away before the roar comes out, but they do find the Phoenix, and now they relocate up on the high ground, but immediately into the tornado. Sumail's got them both caught. He pops the BKB, now chasing for it for more, but a lot of this damage barrage is coming out of Sumail. He's getting absolutely torn to shreds. He does manage to get his BKB off and Ghost Walk away. On the south side of this fight, they've isolated Arteezy and going to take him down. This is a lost cause at this point for EG, as they take down 3.
Very chaotic engagement, targeting down the Chen first. This looks like that very first Roche fight where they kind of like scouted out where crit was, and they're able to fight based off of that. And this time they just take the Chen, and they move on the Phoenix. That roar, it looked a little bit risky. He's like, oh, you're not going to get it. I don't think we're going to get the kill, but
yeah.
They relocate just right on top, forcing Sumail to pop his spells using the BKBs. They don't really have an answer during the BKB of the Gyrocopter. Yeah,
they need to kite out those BKBs, and you know, it's all good and well to say, all right, if the Gyro relocates, we're just going to tornado, but the problem is, he pops the BKB, he doesn't care. He immediately goes in on him, and so much damage on aggressive now. They're going high ground. BKB in 17 seconds. Tier 3 tower is falling, though, and with no buyback on Arteezy, they're going to need to hold, and this is so difficult to happen.
Now they still have the egg. There's a chance they save Rax. I think you back as IG right now. You got to
toss him back in. They force out the BKB. If they can fight now, this would be okay, although they're already losing S4. He doesn't manage to get anything off at all. But now aggressive isolated. The Invoker is coming through. Can they kill off the egg? It doesn't quite get them out, but they do manage to take down the Gyrocopter. Dead for 90 seconds, and they found themselves another.
I do not think they wanted to fight there. They got pulled into that commitment from S4. It looked like they were just about to back and be like, all right, look, we got ourselves the shrines. Let's get out of here, bring it back after. And they're forced into committing to a fight. So they get a couple kills, they stood their ground for a while, but in the end, the victor is the Radiant, and it's Evil Geniuses with another massive gold game for Sumail. He got 2,000 gold out of that fight.
Wow, that is crazy.
And he's thinking about going Blink Scythe. And it looks like that will be, oh, he'll go for the Sheep's Guide instead. All right.
Okay. Well, We've seen the strength of these heroes, and it is still a very substantial experience gain lead for IG, with them also a little bit of a gold lead. We're going to start to see some of these better talents pop up, but they need to deal with this pressure that's coming now. 30 seconds away and in the grave for the gyrocopter and the Leshrac, while EG are getting the pressure onto these towers. What can they do, though, in that time?
Well, Sumail thinks he can just walk on the high ground. Drops his 4 spirits and blinks away.
Now, they're going to Alacrity the catapult back out. I mean, it's scary, right? This potential for a team fight, it's proven to be a bigger and bigger issue.
One thing that's going to be different this time is that they have that gem. Okay, so they're going to purchase the gem on Leshrac, on Q there. On Q. Q on Q.
Hey.
Yeah, they purchased this gem because the reason why EG lost all their vision last time is because they invested into this and they just ran everywhere with the Hawk. But now that gem's been on the side of the Radiant for a long time, ever since that fight at the Roche Pit. So they needed another one for themselves. Try and secure this area once again and push themselves out of their own base.
Yeah. And it's the type of thing where you're going to have a natural vision advantage if you're pushing the high ground just around the area that you're going to fight most likely. But regardless, if you're outside of it, then that Hawk is going to be able to spot out any movement that you're making. It also is going to be an AC soon for the Wraith King. And it looks like EG, again, just trying to bide their time, I guess, until Roshan. It will be the Refresher Shard. Yeah, and that's partially why I think Sumail didn't even invest in one, is this idea of just getting that onto his hero. By the way, we got attacked allies target, and that is so scary with the gyrocopter. They're ready to relocate in. They find RTC, but he blinks away. He gets out. That smoke is not going to bear fruit, at least for the first round. They might be able to find it on the second as they get the lift up there with the Yule Scepter. He does pop the Blade Mail, though, living for the moment. They have Aurora variable as well if they want to go for it. He is going to come back in a second, though, in this Sumail. Throws out the Tornado, misses as then the 2 BKB pops. The Skeletons, as well as the right clicks from Sumail, doing a good bit of damage. Yeah, what happened here is S4 went and canceled the relocate. So they were trying to come into this fight. Oh, they're going to show up now, though. Sumail jumps forward. He doesn't get anything off at all. Look at the damage! Aggressive is tearing them all apart. Triple kill for him. And doing the taunt while he does it. Everybody's gone. Arteezy can only look on in amazement. Wow, we have heard the rumblings of the IO gyrocopter, and I can't say we felt it too much this game. I'll right about there, because I don't know how long he was in that fight. Maybe about 5 seconds. He did about more than 1,000 damage per second right there. Absolutely destroyed the remains of that engagement, and that wasn't looking too good for IG. I mean, Lina was limping away from that fight, barely alive, and they just came in and played cleanup. And the other thing, too, is it's Bobaka on top of that. Like, he is not hitting for an insignificant amount of damage. 174 per punch. And then on top of that, he's got a Maelstrom. And look at them just run down this lane towards the Tier 3 towers that are going to be remaining after the barracks are gone. Yeah, and you can see just how ridiculously synergistic these two heroes are right now with the Aghanim Scepter and with that talent. It's just constant right clicks. Look at him go. Through backdoor, and then they can't only go for Tier 4s if they wanted to because the Tier 2s are still left alive. IG, this is a team that not a lot of people believed in going into this event, but they're showing they deserve a spot on this spotlight as well. They will still have to secure this one. Certainly not over. Again, we're still looking towards that Roche. Oh, yeah. And it's another 45 seconds until it pops up, and that can change the whole game for both sides. I would say more so for the Radiant. I don't think there's that many amazing Refresher candidates. Honestly, it would just be Gyrocopter for like a second round of Flat Cannon. Yeah. I feel like would be the best target for them, and great choice from Bobaka here with the Eon Disc. Well, and we do also have the level 25 for Gyro, who took the global call down. A little bit of a different one, not one we see that often, but great for pushing out sideways. Yeah. Anything else? I mean, this I think has been one of the big stories of this game, has been the experience lead, and we saw it there leading to now a gold lead of 8,000 into the favor of IG. So how do EG deal with this? I mean, we've been talking about BKBs, they're getting lower and lower on the side of IG. Yeah, it's tough. I feel like the biggest problem is they have a hero that just can't really perform too well in the fights and crit. You know, this Chen at this point, it's really hard for him to have a good impact with the Penitence or something. It's still a strong spell because it's damage amplification, but how does he get in range where he doesn't just blow up instantaneously and make good use of it, right? Because he also wants to ensure that he stays alive to use his Hand of God, and he's the aura carrier with the pipe and the Vlads. Oh my goodness, they jump forward. Everything drops down, aggressive down to half HP already, but he's getting healed back up. Sumail is just gone. That's into a DD gyrocopter. You are not going to have a good time, but they did manage to take away Aegis. He's dropping down low. It pops now, but so too will Fly as he is gone. They come back. They buy back with Sumail as well, trying to live through this one. Crit looking as well, but he can't do anything in this fight. Side dependence, as you said. The TP away, but the Light Strike Array connects. An aggressive mega kill streak. They only lost the Lesh.
Yeah, I didn't think they were going to go for that one, but I guess they just felt too pressured, right? Like, again, we talk about how much this refresh shard and everything is going to matter, so it ends up just being dissipated there. We just have the cheese going. Oh.
Smoke up, but no egg. They pass over the refresher shards. They can use it if they want to on Phoenix.
Phoenix, okay. That'll be the play then.
They're trying to slow down these hits to the best of their ability. They're going to call down. Hit onto these heroes. They're looking for the perfect angle of initiation. They know that there is no BKB for only a couple more seconds. 7, in fact, and they need to kill him in the duration of this. We're also getting Volca. They jump forward, BKB in 1. He is going to have it up, and he gets it off as well if he needs to. S4 going to be caught also. They try and slow down this pressure, but with the BKB out, the chase for it. Sumail, he never stood a chance. They chase down S4 to boot. They have the egg, but it too will fall, and EG are going to be hit down as well. A 1-1 series. IG bringing it back.